This is a tutorial using Microsoft Excel to create a basic table for your Science Expo visual. I'm going to be using the alligator growth experiment for this tutorial. However, you are to use your own information and data to create your own table for your science experiment. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a title. In cell A1, I'm going to click inside the cell and type out alligator growth experiment. Because I have 3 columns in my table, I'm going to click out and click in and select 3 of the cells in my title and merge them together. So I'm going to go to Home, Alignment Group, Merge and Center. That way, when I stretch out my columns, the title will stay evenly above my table, whether it's being moved or not. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to skip a row and start my first heading for my first column, which is the test days. So it's the days that the students tested the size and the weight to see the change. Okay, so test days. And my next heading is the size in centimeters square, because that is the measurement we're using for this. When you're inputting data, it's important that you tell me what the measurement is, or we're not going to understand, and the person who's judging is not going to understand. So we need to be very clear about the information we give. So to find the squared symbol, I'm going to go into Insert, Symbol. You're going to look through, which I already have mine highlighted. Insert, close the window, and add the extra parenthesis. If you need to, and often you do, you need to make sure you stretch your columns in case you need more space to write. You don't want to accidentally go in and write over another column and not realize you have this empty space. Okay. All right, I'm going to add my next heading, which is weight in grams. Again, putting in a parenthesis so we can see it well. I'm going to stretch this one out too. And once we have our heading set up, we're ready to start inputting our data. So the first thing I'm going to do is my test days. So I'm going to day 1. And because we're doing a sequence, I'm going to grab this corner, right bottom corner, and pull down to add to the sequence. There we go, real nice. And then I'm going to start putting in the centimeter square. Now it's important for the sake of the chart later on that when you input the data, the numbers, that you put no letters. Okay, we've already explained in our heading what kind of measurement we're using. So all we need to do is list the numbers. So I'm going to put 18 centimeters square, 60 centimeters square, 84, 100, and then 111. Same thing with the weight in grams, 12 grams, 50 grams, 95, 120, 142. Real simple. Okay. Also, make sure you are capitalizing your headings because they are considered a title. Make sure you capitalize your title properly, please. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, in order to make this look like a real table, we're going to add some border lines. So we're going to highlight the data. We're going to go to Home. And in the font group, right in the middle, we have all our borders. And we're going to go to all borders to set up our border lines. Okay, looking pretty good so far. Now we're going to go ahead and make our table look pretty. Okay, we're going to make it look appealing to the eye. So I'm going to start by adding some color to the cells in my headings. I like my headings to stand out so that you can pick out what the columns mean and you can read them real quick and easy. So I'm going to add a color to that. I'll do the green because it's an alligator. And I like to also color in my list of items that I'm experimenting on. Again, just showing the difference in the information. And I'll choose a dark green. Now the thing about dark colors is that if you use a dark color, you need to make sure your font's a lighter color for it to stand out and be more readable. Remember, your table, the most important part is to make sure your table is readable. Okay. The other thing I like to do, just to make it look a little nicer, is I like to center align my headings. So I'm going to highlight all 3 cells, click and drag. I'm going to center align them. And if there's any chance that you are stretching out your rows, you can see that the text stays at the bottom of the cell. If you want to bring that more in the middle, you can highlight your cells and do a middle alignment. Okay, there's a top alignment, bottom alignment, middle alignment. So kind of nice little feature for you to remember. Okay, I'm going to shrink that a little bit. There we go, looking nice. And if you choose, you can go in, you can also make your titles or your text bold, or you can use a nice font that goes with your experiment, kind of goes with this overall theme. It's your choice how nice you make this table. Just make sure it's readable. That is the most important part. If you use a type of font that's a script, it's very hard to read a script font. So just make sure that your information is clear and easy to read.